Hey there, everyone. How's it going? This is a brand new show brought to you by AWS On Air. I'm A.M. Grabelny, one of your hosts for the show, joined by a new face on the On Air side, but not the Twitch side, for sure. James, tell the people about you and who you are.
Who am I? That's a
Who,
loaded
who
question.
are you? Philosophically, not just like your job, but like
We're
deep
not.
down.
I was gonna say we're here for the deep questions.
Yes.
Uh, Hello, everyone. I am James Spencer. I am a partner solutions architect here at AWS, and I am AM's co-pilot, sidekick, however you want to call it, for the new show we're doing today. It's called Step Up Your GameDay. AM, do you want to go into it, or do you have anything to say before I start, word vomiting about game days and how great they are?
First off, I thought I was the sidekick, so
No,
we can figure
you're the
that out.
boss.
I'm the oh
You're
man,
the boss.
that's that's a lot of responsibility, but here I am embracing it already. Yeah, we're gonna be playing a game day today, and if you've never heard of game day, James is gonna talk through some really wonderful things. James, you're a big fan of game day, right? I guess
I like.
I am too, of course. I can't say that I'm not. I am on the game day team. I'm a developer advocate for game day, so ipso factum, I am a fan of game day. But you're a big fan, right?
Yeah, I got my shirt on and everything. Here's my shirt. Game day, 10th anniversary this year. Actually, it was pretty cool. So game day, I am a big fan of gamified learning, edutainment, all that kind of stuff. I don't know if I'd put game day in edutainment specifically, but it is gamified learning. Essentially, game days are designed. You get thrown into, imagine startup culture. I'm sure everyone out there has some idea, either real experience or like vicarious experience of, oh, hey, our guy quit yesterday. Here's everything we need to do. There's like no documentation. We need it fixed, and we need it done like in 2 hours. Sound good? And then you kind of go, okay, sure. Let me dive in. They're like, just dive in. We don't care. Fix it. So game days are kind of like, if you can get past that kind of mental trauma kind of stuff, they're fun because you get to actually, there's no, it's low risk. Like you get to go into an environment, you get to try and fix it, you get points. In a real game day, you're competing against other teams. You get, you know, actual swag, physical swag, or just your bragging points. Or if you're in Amazon, you get little cool icons next to your directory name. Cool. Uh, which actually is a big deal. It's surprising, but yeah. So we're going to be doing quests. Quests are like small segments of game days, and today we're going to be doing a quest called Rucinon Space Taste. Essentially, that startup is designed to be a rental company for unicorns. But just imagine,
we're going to be talking a lot about unicorns, aren't we? Actually, that was one of the things that surprised me about game day when I first heard, like how much unicorn stuff there is. But before we get into that, James, I wanted to just remind everybody that we are live and we are watching chat. I just dropped a little message into LinkedIn. James is here too. He's checking out Twitch. I'm cruising between both. So we're going to need your help today, right? We are going to be playing a game. In fact, I'm going to pull it up while we're talking about it. We're going to be playing, as James said, Rucinon, right? Rucinon. I've heard so many people pronounce this so many different ways, mostly because it's a made-up word, right? Like it's
unicorn.
It's unicorn backwards, right? Or
no,
no,
it's just sort of
scrambled. But this is what they eat, according to game day lore. Is that right?
I think so, something like that. I know you're a huge fan of the unicorn stuff, but
it's not my favorite stuff. But it is deep lore, right? Do you want to talk a little bit about the deep lore? You were just starting before I rudely interrupted to say that we're on chat. We're saying hey to everybody. We see lots of people coming in from all kinds of different places across the world. So thank you for joining us. We're going to be playing, and we're going to need your help when we do start playing. So I'm actually going to click start too while you're talking, James, because it can take a minute to get the quest ready. Go ahead.
No, I mean, I won't dive really too much on the lore, but the idea is, that whole startup culture kind of mentality is kind of given the face of being a rental company for unicorns as the startup. So in this quest, I mean, yeah, the bottom line is, underneath it, we're going to be fixing some of our services. In this one, for example,
Yeah.
services used, EC2 code, a lot of DevOpsy kind of stuff. But to kind of give that startup kind of, flavor, it's in this mode of unicorn rentals. There's something wrong with their pipelines, and we need to fix them.
Yeah, and we're gonna see some of so the best thing about GameDay is it's got technical problems, it's got challenges, kind of like if you can think of like an escape room, but for tech, right? There's that aspect, but there's also story elements to it as well. And the screen just changed, but like James said, we're gonna go through specific services in this one, right? So we've got EC2 is one of those, right? So EC2, James, just our usual compute, right? It's like a virtual machine hosted in the cloud. One of the earliest services, very basic, but we're going to be talking through EC2 today. I saw Code Pipeline on there. You want to walk us through Code Pipeline at all?
Code Pipeline, yeah. So there's the whole kind of suite of coding tools. You have your code commit, where your repositories come in. You have your code pipeline, which actually does your building and your testing kind of stuff. Code deploy, which actually gets your code out there, into the big wide world.
Yes.
And I'm missing one.
Code build.
Code build.
Your build server, right?
Yeah, that was actually part of that whole thing.
That's how you put things together. You package up your code to get it ready to go to code deploy, and then before that, there's code commit too, which is our hosted Git repo. And then with code pipeline, you orchestrate all aspects of your CI/CD pipeline. So your code commit, your code build, your code deploy. We're actually going to see all of these, right? Because I
hope so.
We're going to have to if we're going to win this quest.
If we don't, we're not going to beat the quest if we don't know all that stuff. And we do. Anyone in chat? I got my eyes on the Twitch chat right here. AM might have to check the LinkedIn chat, but we recommend backstreet driving. If you have any ideas, like I don't know anything, so we're gonna need a lot of help. I don't, how did I get here?
I've never heard anybody just say it so bluntly like that, James, but I respect that.
I'm honest. I'm humble. I know myself.
I know very little, and the more I know, the more I realize the less I know. So that's fun, right? But yeah, let's talk a little bit before we jump in to this orientation we've got here. Welcome new hires. One of the unique things about GameDay is there's a scoreboard, and look at this. We've already got 36,000 points.
Unicorn.
I didn't even do anything. I didn't even name the team. It's amazing. Actually, this is part of the Quest development kit. I'm running this in my own AWS account. So this is a little different than if you were to experience it yourself at a game day. But there will be throughout it a little, we're already getting some score. At least they're not taking points off.
Mm-hmm.
We've got HTTP errors. So you get scored while you're playing based off of how well you solve the challenges. So what do you think? What score would you be happy with walking away with? So far, we've got 0, and we're still first.
I'll stay in the positive. If we're in the positive by the end, I'm glad.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Okay, perfect. I'm into it.
So the scoring, if you ever get lost in your scoring events when you're doing a game day, you kind of don't know what to go to. There is directions, but you are still kind of don't know where to go. You can hit that scoring events, and that is helpful. It will kind of give you a little bit of guidance, because then you'll know what. If this is being negative points, then maybe I should fix that.
Hey, so there's tip number 1. In addition to playing through these quests, we're going to be giving you tips on when you go to play AWS Game Days yourself. When you play, maybe little tips, little tricks, little strategies. You remember back in the day they had Nintendo Power, James, the magazine? I don't know.
Oh, absolutely. I would
Okay.
check those out from my elementary school library all the time because my parents would never get me the subscription.
Even before then, too, they had a hotline where you would call in on a telephone, right? They used to have like telephones that didn't look like this.
I
You would call and you'd have an expert. We're your Nintendo Power for game day. We're going to give you some tips, tricks, tips, and strategies, as I said earlier. And one of those is, as James said, if you're not clear on what's going on, go check the score events. Sometimes, you can go see a score event and it'll let you know that something's broken or that you fixed something. So always be checking out the score events if you're playing a game day. Jace, I just realized too, where do you play game day? Well, if I wanted to play a game day, how would I get to play one?
The best way that I know of for my role is to either contact your partner development manager or someone from your alliance lead from marketing and get them in contact with us.
Okay.
Us meaning like the royal us. I mean, also it could be me or AM, but
Yeah.
pretty much anyone, and then they'll forward you to the right people, and you can either set up your own game day for yourself and your partner, your company, or you can at conferences. For example, reInvent, we just debuted. This is where this actually made the debut. This quest right here was
Yes.
reInvent last year, and it's really cool if you do the conference ones, for example, because we get better prizes and better swag. So I have some awesome unicorn socks from this one.
Yeah, that's right. So we could put on game days for people that request it. So if you've got, for example, a meetup group, or you are a customer of AWS, you can get in touch with some AWS employees and say, hey, I really interested in putting on a game day, and we can help you set that up. You can also come to some of our first party events, as James mentioned, like reInvent, for example. reInvent has traditionally been the only event that we've played game day, but always stay tuned. We may be playing game days at other first party events like summits at some point. Who knows? But reInvent is another great way to come play a game day. Those are oftentimes the largest and most anticipated game days. Last year too, there was the game day tournament that Gunnar Groschen team put on. So, reinforce. Yeah, thanks, James. You're typing that in too.
Who typed that? That wasn't me.
That was you. That's you.
Oh yeah, I have my name on here.
You got your name up. You can't hide. There's no anonymity here. So anyway, moving on. Let's get cracking on this game day. I don't want to read this out loud to everybody because they can all read. But I've been skimming it while we've been talking, James. It looks like we've got a unicorn rentals startup, right? So this goes back to what you're talking about. This is a startup, right? And that apparently within there are a whole bunch of these quests called New Frontier, right? You said they debuted at reInvent of 2022, just this past year. Seems like we're set maybe sometime in the future here, right? Because we're in outer space. So
future is now, old man.
Wow. Already, I love it. Yeah, I am old. Older every day too. That's time for you, isn't it? But yeah, outer space. It's set there. So that means we're probably some years into the future here. And the unicorns are experiencing FOMO. Is that what I'm reading?
Yeah, I guess so. You're missing out. That's what it stands for, old man.
Thank
no,
you.
Hey, Adam, can we do a game day at a birthday party?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll answer him. Yes.
Yes. We could only do game day at a birthday party for a specific birthday, though. It's got to be Dave Rockamura's birthday. I don't know if you know Dave Rockamura, but he's the only one who gets game day at his birthday, unfortunately. So it's just him. And Chris Angel will be there too, actually, performing. Or just hanging out. I'm not sure if we've got the budget to get him to perform, but he'll just hang out. Anyway, so we have some sort of operation system going. It's been running great for years. So why change it, right? That's my first inclination. If it's been running great for years, don't touch it. Right?
It ain't broke, don't fix it. Why do you think there's still a market for COBOL and Fortran?
It says that we got to upgrade it though, which that's real. That faces people and oh look, it's got
That's startup culture.
Printers and fax machines.
Nice. Hey, just move to Japan, and then fax machines are like mainstream still, so we're good. Okay. Just move the company. Don't need to fix anything.
Yeah, it's working by design then. So the DevOps team already took care of the infrastructure. Oh, hey, we don't have to deploy anything. It's already deployed for us. So nice. Input field below is pre-populated with the URL. You can update this field if you create a new distribution. What is the URL?
Okay. For our operations web application.
Yeah. So where do we go look? What do you think?
Well, it's giving us an example of CloudFront. So I'm going to guess it's CloudFront.
Oh, man, look at you. Also, if we need to like do any computation here, do any coding, which that's something we should have stated up top too about GameDay. Coding not really required in most game days, but I've got Cloud9 pulled up just in case we want to, and I've already got Code Pipeline up because I anticipated it from reading the description. But you're saying we need to go to CloudFront.
That's my guess.
I'll trust you this time, James. But if you give me any reason not to trust you, I don't know if I will next time. Like I said, I'm working in my AWS account, so I've got some other distributions here, but that matches, right?
That looks like a good place to start, yeah.
Let's check it out.
The UOS.
The UOS.
That's what it says.
It does say
operating
that.
system.
You're right. You're absolutely right. All right, we got the distribution name here, right? That's the domain name.
Let's give that a try.
Shall we just drop it in? Are you going to YOLO it?
Yeah. I mean, that's how you learn. That's another nice thing about GameDays is that there's kind of handrails, at least a little bit. So you can break stuff, but you can't break stuff. So don't worry.
You can get negative points though.
Yeah. I
don't know if this particular one will give us negative points for getting the wrong one, but just a forewarning. So James, is your preferred method just YOLOing answers in here? Is that how you try things at GameDay? Is one of your particular strategy?
If I feel like I have the answer, I don't think too much about it.
Okay.
So yeah, to a certain extent, yes. Just narrow it down and then YOLO it. If it's right, perfect. Move on.
Okay.
If it's not, then I guess dig in a little deeper.
Fair enough.
But it looks like that might be wrong so far.
I don't know. Does it need the backslash really? I wouldn't think it would.
Try dropping that in there. See what happens.
Hey, okay. This looks right.
That does look right. It's just
error with our API.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. Oh, they're saying I actually don't think we needed to do this. This is just saying I reread this. You can update this field if you need to create a new distribution.
Oh, so the current value we had in there was already the correct one. Uh-oh.
Well,
go back in the recording.
Hey, that's oh, here we go. We don't have to shell into the EC2 instance. You know what? Here's tip number 2. Tip, trick, and strategy number 2. Read everything.
No, seriously. I mean, you might a lot of them, you might get a lot of text, especially if they have a lot of story. But honestly, do finish reading anything when you do a game day for real, because yeah, it'll help guide you. I've gotten so many supporter requests, help, we're stuck here, and I'll just point to be like, this line right here says specifically use AppRunner, and be like, oh, okay. So
check this out. We're going to be able to make changes to the code repository, but we won't have to write any code. That's kind of interesting.
That's like what is the sound of one hand clapping sound?
Yeah, you can update code, but you will not
don't
need
have to
to
write
write any. Deployments may take 5 to 10 minutes. All right. So, okay, here we go. We haven't deployed anything yet. That's big letters down here with the. That's like marking on a treasure map X. Like that's not a wrong X, right? That's the treasure map X. That's wrong X.
So in Japanese, I don't know if you know, but they use maru is for things that are correct instead of like check or whatever.
Yeah.
You have maru and you have batsu.
Okay. I'm loving the comment I'm seeing here. Reading. I didn't learn reading to code. Or I didn't learn coding to read. I agree wholeheartedly. Previous DevOps lead made a start at setting up a CI/CD pipeline. Okay, created 2 pipelines. So we got 2 pipelines that we're going to find. Okay. We got a web app and a web service. All right, so that's the front end, and then service is the API. We already saw there's an error with the API. Remember that?
Yes.
All right.
It looks like the web app is working. So
yeah, pipeline's complete, and it deploys changes to the front end. Your current task is to complete the web service pipeline. All right. You will need to establish a code deploy. Hey, look at that. Look at that, James. That's a big old hint, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Go to the code deploy. Yeah.
Group. Deployment group should deploy to auto-scaling group.
Should.
All right. So it looks like they've already created an auto-scaling group for us. What's an auto-scaling group, James?
Auto-scaling is it scales. So
yeah,
no, yeah. No, so if you have one, let's do it really easy. If you have one server that has 500 requests, it can probably handle that. But then when Black Friday comes and your one server has 50 million requests, it's probably going to say, break, and that's no good. So what a scaling group is, it'll notice one of those metrics that you define, in this case, your requests, and then it'll spin up a couple different servers. So you'll have 10 servers handling those 500 million requests and be able to actually service everyone. And then when it kind of goes past Black Friday, it'll spin down, back down to your one. So that way your customers get the service you need. You don't over provision, but it is your responsibility to make sure you set it up correctly. You could still over provision if you're the one who did it, but it keeps that balance between usage, costs, and customer service kind of thing, at least in that case that I was making about scaling your servers.
I love it. Yeah, it basically can create more EC2 instances based off of a metric, right? Like, so if your CPU is very important to your workload, for example, and your CPU on one of your EC2 instances nears a certain percentage, like 80% or something, you can set all that up to go out and deploy another one. A lot of metrics you can set it on, but we're not worried about that because that was already created for us. We're worried about code deploy, aren't we?
We are.
All right, so I found the pipeline while you were giving us that wonderful explanation of auto-scaling group. We got 2 of them, like they said. I opened up the code pipeline, and then it sounds like we need to make a code deploy step, and I guess we'll have to add it to this pipeline, right? What do you think?
Yes, that sounds like a good place to start.
Anything in chat? Is chat helping?
Well, it wasn't related. I just Googled it myself, and remember I told you about Batsu and Maru?
Yeah.
The character actually, Batsmaru, the little penguin guy.
Yeah,
I never realized.
Sanrio?
Yeah, I never realized that's where he got his name. That's why his logo is a bunch of X's and O's.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Batsmaru. I didn't realize that. That's cool. Anyway, today
Hello
I learned.
Kitty's friend, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Who is a girl, but dresses like a cat or something. I learned some things about Hello Kitty that were very interesting.
My friend's kid would know that for sure.
They broke my brain.
I did, man.
So yeah, the chat was just asking about the Japanese concept of a unicorn. Very interesting, but not helpful. Come on. What do you all know about code deploy? I'm looking for some help here. I'm just kidding. Please keep talking about unicorns too. that's also entertaining for me. What about should we just jump in? Like you said, James, you like to YOLO. You're supposed to be guiding me too.
Well, okay, let's go back.
You're over here talking in chat about Japanese unicorns and leaving me out here all by myself.
Sorry. Let's go back to the quest dialogue real quick. Just
no, we can't read again. We're already done reading.
Oh, come on, man. YOLO.
We've done too much reading for today already. I also wanted to talk about these hints. So if we do get really stuck, we can reveal this hint, but it's going to be expensive. It's
that's a lot, yeah.
100 points, 2,500 points to learn what we need to do. But if we get really stuck, we can. All right.
Sure. Okay, so what we need to do.
Establish a code deploy application and deployment group. That seems like step one. Yeah.
And our current task, complete the pipeline such that it deploys automatically to that code deploy and deployment group. Okay, cool.
Let's do this.
Yes, that sounds like a good place.
What shall we name it? This would be a good time for chat to names. If naming comes up, chat, please.
Unicorn distribution system.
Okay. We'll be very prescriptive, very pragmatic here. And
that's how I am when I code. I'm overly verbose. I don't need to comment my code because it basically looks like comments anyway.
I don't know what compute platform. I wonder what. So I think it's probably just EC2, right? Because it's talking about an auto-scaling group, which could apply to ECS or EC2, but they didn't really give us any indicator that we're going to do ECS. So you just want to try EC2?
Yes, just do that.
Okay.
If I was designing it, that's what I would do.
All right. Now it said we create application and a deployment group, right?
Yep.
And now we're going to go deployment. Oh, they're having us name so many things. This is the hardest part, man. This is harder than the challenge.
This is the funnest part. Unicorn deployment group. That's so creative.
Wow. Okay, and I think it should have a service role already, right?
Usually, yeah, most game days, unless you need to prescriptively make one, they'll usually provide you one just because, there's so many different things that you can do.
I found one with the unicorn name stuff.
Yeah.
You could use the IAM role as the IAM role for the deployment group. See, this is why you read, man. This is it's a lot of reading.
Yeah. If you didn't, that's a perfect example. If you didn't read that and you just created a role and you got stuck and then you called a supporter over, they'd probably be like, "Oh, did you read right here?"
No, and I'm not going to, and you can't make me.
No, just tell me the answer.
Okay. So in place or blue green? I say we leave it at in place for now.
Yeah, that should be fine for game.
Blue green though is a great way to deploy because it allows you to limit your downtime, right? So we might want to look at that later on. Maybe we can enhance our solution. That's part of game day too. Also, is you want to get things working and then enhance your solutions. So it says something about auto scaling groups. I'm going to click on this, see what happens. Hey, look. Remember that was, let me double check here. There we go. Okay. Nice. So they already made us an auto scaling group. This is so nice of them to make this stuff for us. All right. We'll do all at once. Again, this is probably like going to give us downtime, which I'm going to assume they're probably going to penalize us for that. What do you think?
I don't know, but I think that would be interesting if they did.
Yeah,
that would be kind of cool.
And then we need a load balancer since it's in an auto scaling group, right? So and they made us one. Shall we just create? I didn't ask. I just did it.
That's okay.
Sorry about that. Okay.
What is a load balancer, Am?
Load balancer. It's a networking it's a piece of networking technology that allows you to front other services. So you don't have to build in high availability into the actual service itself. You build the high availability into the load balancer, or it's automatically built in. And then the load balancer can route to any number of services that you give it paths to, right? So it's a way of offloading the networking side, because when you're scaling, for example, having your own way of reaching individual services running on individual EC2 instances, you'll have to keep a record somehow of all of those IP addresses, or however you're routing to them. But a load balancer can help you with that and does it for you. Is that
Nice?
What do you think? Off the cuff?
That's good enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's going to the restaurant and the host seats you at a table, and then that's what the load balancer is. I got 50 people online. Which table am I going to send you to?
Okay.
Boom, boom, boom.
I love it. That's real great too. Okay, so we got our application. It looks like. I wonder if we can just add it to the pipeline. What do you
pipeline?
think?
Add a stage.
Add a stage. Deploy. Action group. Action name. Action provider.
Deploy.
Code deploy. There we go.
Perfect.
We want the build.
That would be a good thing to deploy.
We want unicorn distribution system.
That's what we named it.
And the deployment group. Deploy. Okay. What do you done?
Okay.
Save.
That sounds like a good start.
Save.
Cannot be undone. We really did yellow it.
Didn't run. Let's release.
Yeah, we need to do that first.
I'm releasing you.
Release the Kraken.
I like the Kraken. You watch hockey?
Not since I moved. I used to watch the Kings a lot when I lived near LA.
The LA Kings.
Yeah.
Once home to Wayne himself, Mr. Gretzky. Okay, that's cool. So we're waiting for it to build. This is when things get really interesting, because it's a lot of waiting.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have any other tasks to get done, so we are just really beholden to the pipeline at this point. So James.
Oh, so wait, hold on. So that deployment URL that we needed in the Quest UI, was that for the thing we're deploying now, or was that for the front end service?
No, that's the front end. When we updated that field when we didn't need to.
Okay.
Yeah, that was for the front end service. We just, maybe something happens to your front end and you got to redeploy it. I don't know.
Yeah, I was just curious at how it was going to detect if the deployment was done, and it should be done if it stops getting that API error.
Right. Yeah. We're still getting that error, but our pipeline has not. Oh, look.
Yeah, it hasn't finished.
We're deploying.
Oh, nice. Good.
Look at that.
How many times I've looked through a pipeline and then read all the error logs after it didn't build correctly?
Yeah, same.
I've done that.
It's a lot of fun, right? Reading logs is maybe my second favorite thing.
If honestly, if it breaks and I have a log of it, I'll take it. Like, I can fix that. I can work with that. If it breaks and it's just a dead line in the logs, I don't like that, because I don't know where to look. That's no fun.
No?
No.
Hey, look. It looks like it's creating an instance for us.
Okay.
We got our instance ID. Let's see what's happening over there. Okay.
Running. Okay.
You got us a T3 large. Whew.
Okay. This would be a perfect example to plug AWS Graviton.
Graviton.
Get your compute power with less cost and less environmental impact.
What's Graviton?
It is the AWS ARM64 chipset that's relatively new, but It for sure. I used it in a couple of demos I've done,
Yeah.
and for sure, if you have the compatibility to do it, which 99% of the time you do, I highly recommend checking it out because just looking at the performance and the cost, ratio, it's amazing.
I have a feeling I'm going to have a lot of tabs before the end of this quest.
That's normal.
Uh-oh, failed.
Uh-oh. Chad, what's wrong? What'd we do?
Wonder why. View events.
That's a good place to start.
Script failed.
User Nginx does not exist.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
It might be a bug with the quest itself, actually.
Huh. Let's take a peek.
I do have the quest. I've got the quest code itself. Maybe we can.
What's in before install.sh? Yeah, maybe we can look that up.
Or we can maybe alter it over here in the build, right? We got the web service build. Let's go take a look at the. Oh, the build is going to be in code commit, isn't it? Of course.
Yeah.
Duh. All right. So we've got the web service. Let's go take a look and we'll try and redeploy this. I don't think this is part of it. Before install, I found it.
.sh.
Maybe it is. Maybe we're supposed to go in there. Oh yeah, look.
That's
User add system UOS, but it doesn't add Nginx. So let's try and do this. In X. Right? What do you think?
UOS Nginx. Yeah. Give that a shot. YOLO.
Yeah.
Put your email address.
Sure. People can
Get
email
notifications.
They can email me about putting on a game day if they want.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You know what that means, right?
Retry. Release change and retry.
I think it actually automatic. Yeah, look, it's rebuilding already.
Oh, it does this. Oh, cool.
Because it's connected to the repo.
It recognizes the commit.
Okay. Oh, hey, Aaron Hunter's here. Do you know
Hello.
Aaron?
I do. Yes.
Hey,
Howdy.
Aaron. We are debugging a quest right now. All right, this is a good time while the pipeline is running, James, to do if you're just joining us, because we haven't done one of those and it's 40 minutes into the stream so far. So
if you're just joining us.
If you're just joining us, this is AWS On Air presents Step Up Your Game Day, starring James Spencer with sidekick A.M. Grabelny. So what we do here is we play game day quests live, and we're in the middle of one right now. We're playing, you're going to have to pronounce that word again for me, James.
Rucinon?
Thank you. Rucinon Space Taste, which is one of the quests that debuted at AWS reInvent 2022. If you've never played a game day, it's a fun, interactive way to overcome real life type challenges in an actual AWS account. So we are currently trying to fix our deployment pipeline. So the unicorns over at Unicorn Rentals have a code pipeline set up that's working for their front end app, but it's not working for their back end app, right? And so James and I are trying to troubleshoot. We got a question. Are game days compatible with a specific set of AWS services, or is it flexible for anything in your account? So the first thing, and then I'll let James take it away here too. The first thing is you're not playing in your own AWS account when you come play an AWS game day. We supply AWS accounts for all the players. Well, for each team, rather. And teams are usually comprised of about 4 to 5 players. So each team gets an AWS account. All these things are deployed to it for you ahead of time, like this code pipeline, for example. And then you come in and set things up.
Yeah, there's a lot of different game days that are kind of geared towards either specific services or specific like horizontals or verticals. So, for example, we have a game day that's totally geared around security. We have one game day that's totally geared around sustainability. Lowering your carbon footprint of your workloads, and in turn lowering your costs, which is nice.
Yeah.
So depending on what you're looking for, yeah, there's probably a game day. And if there's not, we want to know that too, because we're always pumping out, developing new ones. And honestly, it's not just lip service. A lot of stuff we build at AWS is customer request driven. So if there is some sort of game day you're looking for that we don't have yet, please let us know. Absolutely, we can totally get that. See about getting one built towards whatever your specific use case is, for sure.
Well, now we've got some issues with the application script. These unicorns really, they're not, they didn't build the best code pipeline here, did they?
Unit not found.
I wonder what that means. Hey, guess what we're going to do? Oh, Stack Overflow. Beautiful.
Nice. What a dumb question.
You know what? Let's add a bunch of this stuff.
Installs, yeah.
Yeah, let's add a bunch of this to the...
Install, and... Yeah, it's got to restart, but do we ever install the Nginx package itself?
Good question. So we've got before install. Interesting. I might have also gotten the wrong version of this quest too. This could be my fault. But that's okay. Maybe we can figure it out. Before install. Let's edit.
Huh.
Let's try installing all of these things.
Shall we? There's also a line on install. Yeah, that one.
And then we need to enable and start too using system control. Man, we're getting to use our ops hats here today, aren't we?
Yeah, more than expected. I don't think this was like you said. This might be a problem in the chair, not in the computer, kind of thing. So.
Oh, it's almost certainly a problem in the chair most days when I'm in that chair.
Having a picnic.
Okay. It's just AM and then here we go. Okay, let's try that, shall we?
Let's do it.
And then let's see if I can find anything out while we are waiting.
So, AM, does LinkedIn have any chat for you? Are you checking out any chat in LinkedIn?
Oh yeah, I've seen a few people. Aaron actually.
Oh, that's where it came from. Okay.
Aaron said, "Oh, actually, I'll put this one up because hey James, your dog looks cozy."
My dog. Hey, Alfie, you're a dog apparently.
You're a dog now.
He's giving me the death stare.
He's a dog now.
Yeah, that's my buddy. He just I work and he watches. He's my supervisor.
Well, he's not doing a great job right now.
Well, he's working too, I guess. So
that's true.
Is it okay? We're building again.
Still building. Oh wait, did it fail again, or is that?
Not yet. Not yet, quote unquote, knock on wood. Still.
Oh
still
yeah,
going.
it's still on the build step. Okay.
Welcome to the life of a DevOps engineer. Is it building? Sort of.
Kind of.
What's that? Yeah, I always use that. That's my favorite. Instead of the old the XQCD of what are you guys doing? Compiling, and they're sword fighting on their chairs. I just replaced compiling with building.
Right.
Building. Continue. Commence. Sword fighting. Well, built.
Did it? Oh yes. Now it's in deploy. I'm gonna check if I. We might have a mulligan on this one, and we might just go ahead and. I might have gotten the wrong branch. But
so when you say the wrong branch, you're talking about for the quest, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
I got mainline, but it may not be in mainline.
Yeah. So same thing with any application. Game days are like kind of like applications in themselves.
Yes.
We do have a great team of builders that build all this stuff, and then it all kind of goes on the operator. They to make sure that they deploy the correct build of the game day. So I don't know. I just excuse me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So hopefully we're just we fixed it, and it's not you, it's me kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, we did some really deep.
We've done a lot
here.
Yeah, we've done
with going and Googling and finding the first Stack Overflow, which is pretty, I'd say, realistic, actually.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know what the worst is? Oh, I hate it. It's like a nightmare thing for me. I'll come and I'll Google an error or something, and then my my list of links will pop up, and like 95% of them are purple. Oh no! Yeah, I know, and I'm like, oh no! Are you serious?
They're all purple. Oh no, it failed again.
I like when one is purple because that means it was the right one.
Right.
But if the whole page is purple, I go, oh come on.
Okay, it failed again.
Application start.
Let's see if
we're moving.
No, that's the same place. Yeah. Yeah, the same error too.
Unit not found.
Interesting.
Okay.
Very interesting. Well.
Oops. So code commit, as far as slim thick, the code commit tools. So code commit is compatible with Git. So essentially, if you're familiar with Git or Git commands, it works essentially the same way. It's AWS's kind of version of Git.
You know what?
Restart? No restart.
We're just getting rid of that line.
Okay.
Let's find out. Let's find out what happens. It's just fun because every time we do a build,
you know what we should do?
Another 2 minutes. Yeah, tell me, please.
Let's reveal a hint.
Oh yeah, okay, but I don't think the hint will help us. But
yeah, I don't think it will either. But
we just lost some points.
That's okay.
That's okay.
We're only competing with ourselves.
I'm competing against you.
How?
I don't know.
Wait, what?
I don't know.
Was there a promotion on the line here or something? I just wasn't told.
I don't know.
This it's created, additional stage, single action to deploy. The input artifacts for this action should be the output
of the build stage, which is what
we did that.
We did.
Uh-oh.
We did that too.
Looks like we did everything correctly. What's wrong?
Like I said, I'm thinking I might have gotten a bogus version, and I was going to go check out if there's a different version in the repo, the Quest repo that I have access to, and see if I could find something.
gonna say I don't think people want me to start breaking out my dad jokes.
Yeah, I think they probably do for sure.
Oh, you think so?
Of
Well, my
course.
favorite one. Do you know how you tell the difference between a crocodile and an alligator?
How's that?
Well, one you'll see later, and then one you'll just see after a while. So that's how you can tell.
Wow. If we weren't in the spot we were in, I might be angry. But I'm very appreciative for you right now, James.
Thank you. I'm still learning the alphabet. I only got 25 letters down. I don't know why. Anyway.
I'm going to start crying if you keep doing this.
Well, maybe this will convince the deployment to go out.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Give me a shut up.
Oh, actually, I can't see. I'm not scrolled down enough. Okay, the deploy is in progress. I'm not seeing a branch that like jumps out. And unfortunately, too, this is we can't reach out to the Quest creator either because he's in Australia. So I don't know what time it is there right now, but probably not a reasonable time.
Well, you don't think he answers on calls for this? It's almost 7 a.m.
Oh, well.
But that's still a little early to be saying, "Hey, come fix the Quest live on air. Tell us what we're doing. Tell us why we're dumb."
We don't have enough time for him to tell us why I'm dumb. It's still progressing, but we'll just see if we actually needed that step or not. Once the API does or does not work. Wouldn't it be great if we did fix it, though?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Less than 1 second ago, application start.
That was
failed.
That was the other deployment. See, we're in progress now.
Oh.
We got a lot of failed over here.
In place, yeah.
Interesting. I wonder if... No, I sure don't. Okay. All right. So, James.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite game day?
Do I have a favorite? I personally like... It's called Secure Legends. It's what we rolled out for... we rolled that out. Well, it was there before, but we rolled out the current like super version. I call it the super version at Reinforce this last summer because it's hard. It's really tough. But it's super tough, but it doesn't feel like one of those things where it's like unfair. It's just like when you figure it out, you go, oh, okay, that's legit. Like we had the entire Reinforce's AWS's security conference, and we had like actual, like security, like professionals, like super genius people. And I think the average quest, but there's 4 quests in that one. I think the average getting done was like 1.5 or 1.8 quests.
Wow.
Like it's legit. It's hard, but it doesn't feel like, when you figure it out, you don't go, oh, are you serious? You go, oh, like even like professionals are still learning something from it. For sure. I think we have one of those lined up for next month or
we'll be doing Step Up Your GameDay at least once a month, at least initially too. If you all want to see us play some quests more often than once a month, let us know, please. But yeah, our plan is to do one per month on Tuesday at this time. I think we're targeting the second Tuesday of the month, I believe, James. I can't remember, with some changes too because of overlapping events, things like that too. But yeah, look, James, we've gotten past where that script failed, mostly because I took that line out. That may have been necessary, but
hey, if it works. Because we still did install Nginx, we just didn't.
And I enabled it, I believe.
Yep.
With system control.
Yep.
But there was a note. There was a note in the repo. Come in here.
Oh, there was? Okay.
Oh, wrong repo. It's the web app. we need the web service. In the script, application start, there was a note, do a restart as the first deployment may not stop Nginx. Well, we'll just have to see. And I believe I added in the before install, which we may want to just move.
You can move it there.
The start to the application start, but still allowing traffic. It's taken a while. Oh, no. Tricked me. It tricked me. I thought I saw some movement. Okay, so Secure Legends. Yeah, we're going to be playing that one at some point for sure. Trying to think of what else we've got planned for Step Up Your Game Day. We really want to get to a point where you all are playing right alongside with us, with chat too, or through chat, telling us what to do, telling us where to go solve these problems. So don't be afraid to tell us to go try something, because we'll do it. Unless it's like, hey, go install this Bitcoin miner on EC2 instance. I think that'll solve it, because we won't do that.
You won't? Oh.
Well, okay. I won't, and I'm driving. Maybe
no.
James.
So yeah. So in a lot of Twitch like Let's Plays, especially like when they're considered blind Let's Plays, you can actually get timed out or whatever for backseat playing. On this show, yeah. Granted, this is the pilot. The goal is we do want the chat to be driving this thing. That's kind of our end game, at the moment. But I guess if we can't get it to work, then
we can go check out like what else is going on in here too.
Hello world. Yeah.
Nothing in the build spec. I wonder what language this is in. If I had to guess, I would guess Python.
Python.
Hey,
love our Pi.
There you go,
Yep.
.py. So we've got let's check out main. Let's just see what's going on while we're waiting.
Get all unicorns.
Slim Thick was just wondering what the Bitcoin to GameDay point exchange rate was. It's the same as Shroot Bucks to Stanley Nickels, I believe.
Shroot Bucks. Where are those from? Oh, is it from The Office or something?
Yeah, it's from The Office.
Okay.
I'm basic.
No, that's not basic.
Basic? I figured that would make me basic.
You like what? No, I said it's based. You like what you like.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. You know what based is, right, Am? Do I have to teach you that one too?
I don't know.
Really?
I'm old.
No, so if someone says like based, like it's like if you say something outlandish or something that you consider like, oh, everyone likes this, everyone loves The Office. If you just like stand by that and you're sincere about it, that's based.
Okay.
Yeah. Like if someone says something ridiculous, like, oh, I love something with my food, like I love salt on my ice cream or whatever, and you're like, oh, you're just saying that for attention. Then you see them actually do it, like constantly. You're like, oh, that's based. Like they mean it.
I do mean it.
Yeah. No, that's what I consider.
Well,
succeeded.
It's just, I think it's stuck. It might not be getting a healthy.
Yeah.
Let's see. Like the health checks might be failing. Although it says it's okay.
You could SSH in.
I was going to say, I wonder if I can actually use
this account is not.
Yeah. EC2 Connect something.
It's a T3, so it should be.
Should yeah. Well, the role has to have it too, right?
What?
Yeah, no, the role's got to have SSM usually.
Huh. Because I know on the front page it did say we could SSH in. Yeah.
It sure did. Okay, Nginx.
Not found.
How is that possible? Hold on. Systemctl. I think it's status.
Getting close to my camera trying to read.
I forget. Systemctl get status service. Yeah. There we go. Oh, this is what I want. Yeah. Let me see if I can bump that up. Sorry.
Whoa. Okay.
Could not be found.
Hmm.
That's interesting.
It is interesting. Yum install.
Okay.
Sudo. Oh, that's why because you didn't put sudo.
Yeah,
Well,
I know.
it was a bootstrap. So
I'm pretty sure code build runs as sudo.
No, yeah. I think you're right. You shouldn't need to.
I think. Oh, yes, this is. I should have done -y. I don't know that this will actually work.
It's not active, yeah.
Okay, so
Start.
Is that it? Let me. Oh my. Wow. Okay. You shouldn't have to do this. I think this is my fault.
We're getting into the nitty gritty here, folks. You're getting the behind the scene, behind the music look at debugging a game day.
That's true.
This is technically not part of the game, I don't think.
I don't think so either. This is because I didn't do. Oh, the L. Nope. I don't know what that means.
Start deluged.
Let's just try it again. But I'll do start instead of enable. Okay.
Could not open. Permission denied.
I wonder if that helped with this. I don't think it did. Oh, James, what a pilot episode, huh?
I would subscribe. I'm sold.
We didn't even get past the first task. I'm so sorry. This is my fault.
No, that's cool. So maybe you want to give some insight into what does it take to spin up a game day itself?
Well, only AWS employees can actually currently.
Yeah.
So yeah, we use a system that vends out AWS accounts, and our operators, who are AWS solution architects, technical account managers, some CSMs, some dev advocates like me, will go and deploy it to the internal system that we use to vend out the accounts, and then you get a hash, right? Which the hash allows you to log in to the actual account that you are going to be playing in. We have a great question from chat. Are game days free? Yes, absolutely. Game days are free. So that's goes according to my motto. If it's free, it's for me.
It's free. It's for me.
Yeah. So yeah,
I use that in all my value propositions for everything that's similar to that.
Oh, look, James.
Wait, what? Wait, what? No.
It's still not working, but I somehow deployed it. And I don't think it registered. Nope. But it's deployed.
It's probably deployed, but if Nginx isn't set up correctly, then it's probably not talking to anything.
Yeah.
The front's still not talking to the back.
You got to get technical about stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yes, you're almost assuredly right. Nginx is not. I wonder what goes in here. Stop.
Stop Nginx. There you go.
Application start. Let me get this status.
The UOS.
That's active.
Okay.
And then
Do it. Yeah.
I believe Nginx was up, right?
Excuse me. Yeah, it's active.
Active. Okay.
Son of Declonius is saying that maybe Nginx is starting before the network services are loading.
Oh yeah, that could be it.
So we could try it. And again, just to reiterate, if you're just tuning in, this is probably I'm 99% sure this is not actually part of the actual game day, like to get points. Like this is us.
Yeah, agreed.
Debugging we're debugging the man behind the curtain.
Yes. Something has gone wrong with the deployment of this quest, and it doesn't include everything that we need, I believe. So I was going to go check too to see how it's connecting up to that. How it's connecting up to the API.
To the back end.
Yeah. Okay, so it's just calling out to the same domain even, which is interesting. Huh. Well, James, I don't believe we have anyone else. Oh, look at this. You said you'd be so happy if we just stayed in positive, but
I was, yeah.
I don't believe that anyone else is going to be jumping on the stream. I could try and load up another quest.
If you have the time, yeah.
I do if you do. What does chat think?
Can I send to a mod? Son of Declonius wants to send you a message. It looks like a DM, maybe.
Oh, yeah. You can DM me.
Or a command.
AMGROB. Amgrob. But I'm going to go load up another quest. How about that?
Yeah.
What do you think? I'll do another New Frontier quest.
Okay.
Do you have one in mind? We could do a simple one. We could do the translator.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that'll at least give them, the audience, it'll give them that taste of what it's like to actually complete and get some points. Like, this is what it looks like when you figure something out.
This is what it looks like when you aren't AM. Okay, so I'm gonna deploy this out real quick. It's gonna take me just a second. You can keep everyone entertained, right?
I can try. Did you get the DM?
Oh, let me look.
Check your messages.
Oh, I sure did. Okay, we got. Oh, sent me to some docs. Thank you very much. If Nginx does not start after rebooting the server. Oh, yeah, we could try restarting it, couldn't we? Let me try that real quick before we just totally give up. Oh, system. Remember in that code commit repo.
The part you commented out, yeah.
Yeah, we could try running that command just to see, because our UOS or whatever is running. So maybe it'll pick it up if it just gets restarted, but I've got a feeling it's not going to. Yeah, it's just restart Nginx. Just wanted to double check that. Okay, systemctl restart Nginx. Oh.
Sudo.
Yeah. Okay.
Sudo.
Again, I don't know that that's going to solve it, but Yeah, it's not. How to delay the launch. Okay, yeah. It's got a bunch of stuff that we can put into configuration. I'm just going to launch this other quest now.
Okie doke.
Okay.
I'm for it. So, is our job at our new startup, is it solidified?
I think we got fired today.
We already got fired on our first day in.
I
Hey,
think
it's like
we're fired.
yeah, it's that startup culture. We didn't we got left behind with no docs and nothing works and we couldn't figure it out.
We're not 10x engineers, James. That's just how
true.
it is. You know, if we were 10x engineers, this would be a different story, I think. Okay, here we go. Sorry, I've got to. I'm off screen doing a bunch of things. I'm loading the quest into my AWS account. Yep, that it's going to take some time. But while it does anyone have any questions?
This one should be not too long.
I really wish. So I just saw Slim. Slim said that it was going to be a Rickroll, the solution. I wish they had sent a Rickroll, but no, it was an actual like try of the solution. Yes. Okay.
Solutions for this.
So this is typically not what you see at a game day. Just as a heads up.
We spent an hour talking about what you'll see, and then we spend 10 minutes saying this is not it.
Yeah, this is not it, son. Sorry.
What do you mean, son? Could they require solutions? What do you mean by that? What was I going to say? Oh, so the new one you're spinning up,
yes.
Just to give...
Let's give some background.
Yeah, so essentially the new frontier, again, this is supposed to be in the future, and our unicorns are looking for things in outer space, and they're trying to communicate with us about where they want to go or where they want to eat, I believe, or something. So they sent it through AWS. They sent their message through AWS. And coincidentally, they sent it through a container. And we need to get this container running and then translate their message. And that will be the quest. It's supposed to be like an icebreaker kind of introduction quest. So if this one don't work, that's the response I'm going to have.
We've got, I'm giving you a little behind the scenes view of what happened. So again, this is just deploying into my AWS account. This isn't deploying into the GameDay internal system that we use to vend out accounts. So, but this is what happens behind the scenes. It creates a bunch of CloudFormation stacks. It's actually kind of sophisticated, and it can be a little difficult to troubleshoot sometimes, as you have seen for the past hour or so. But we're going to give this CloudFormation some time to spin up, and the quest will magically show up right back in here in this UI that we've got. So we were saying earlier, somebody asked, is Game Day free? How do I play, etc.? You get a hash, right? And you are given a link to go to it. And the link is this event UI, except there will be a login and you'll have a team number and the hash, and you put those two things in and you're logged in, and you're granted both access to this page and to an AWS account. You all will work in the same AWS account. So oftentimes you'll have the team divvy up tasks, especially when there are more involved quests with multiple steps in them. You'll have multiple people do different things at the same time. And then you'll earn points. You get points or you'll lose points, like we just did on Rucinon Space Taste. We'll have to do a redeeming episode for Rucinon Space Taste, won't we, James? Once I get it working, the redemption, so everybody can see it actually working. We really appreciate you hanging out with us though while we're getting this up and running and troubleshooting and things. And once we get this CloudFormation stack deployed and the pipelines running and things, we'll have a new quest, and it'll be like we're starting over, like Wayne's World, doodaloo, doodaloo, flashback to the beginning of the episode, as if none of this happened.
That's a 31-year-old reference.
Well, I'm much higher than 31, so.
Son of Declonius is saying, give a check to the nginx.service config file.
We can do that. We can definitely do that while we wait, because it's still running.
Yeah. Change the after network.target to after network online target and to do a restart. Okay.
Connect. Oh, this means I'm going to have to use Vim, isn't it? I don't know. Maybe they have Nano on here. Oop.
I think it's both.
Usually. Nano. Oh, nice.
Emacs.
I'm not falling into this trap. Okay.
Where's the friend
Jay? Where is the Nginx? I mean, I'll just Google it. Config file location. Okay, etcd. Or no, Etsy. etcd.
It's close.
Okay, so Nano. You can tell I'm more of a dev than ops. There's Nginx. It's in here. Compd is. Oh no, nginx.conf.
Yeah.
Okay, now what are we looking for? After equals network.target. Right?
Yeah. Change it to network-online.target. For a TLS enabled server.
See it. This might not be the. Is this the right config file?
I would think so. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, we got a let's see. I'm gonna refresh real quick. Okay. There were a few. There was a default. It's after. Go back to that. Replace. Oh, it's a different file. Hold on. All right, so we want to do nano / etc. systemd system. I don't know. Wants and then nginx.
NFS. Oh,
that's not the one we want.
I was gonna say I don't think that's the right one. Yeah.
There is no nginx service file.
Your camera is shaking from you slamming on the keyboard.
Autocomplete.
Find it.
Not there.
You know what's funny? I found out we get like we can get like 8 keyboards from the vending machines per year or something. And I was like, who's using 8 keyboards in a year? And you just kind of
I gave you a reason why. Yeah.
You kind of just showed me why we might go through that many.
Yes. Huh. Going back. Let me go back to no nginx service, but that directory is there. Yeah. Kind of interesting. And the uos.service config is there. That was another thing too. Etsy system D. Yeah.
Restart always.
Well, it's got the network. Nginx definitely did install. Remember?
Yeah.
I can.
Because it's active. Yeah.
Nginx. It's there.
Yeah, but I think, like you said, part of it is that, we installed it afterwards, and so it's not like all set up like how, like as a part of a bootstrap. So it's like none of the settings are like, wired in, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
That might be part of it.
It could be. I need to go check the pipelines because it says.
Or a pipeline went through, right?
Oh, this is the pipeline to. Yeah, here we go. So it's
the
translator.
Okay.
Told you we're gonna get to see some of the behind the scenes as we're doing this. Quest install. Okay. Again, thank you all for hanging out with us while we troubleshoot and get all of this stuff working. Oh, there we go. Translator. All right.
Nice.
Number one, I think, James, our first mistake, or
What's
my
that?
first mistake. I'll call it my first mistake. Hubris. Okay? Hubris. You see why? I'm going to point out why hubris is my first mistake. So we got Cornhuf Translator. Difficulty of this quest is 1 out of 5. We go back to Rucinon. We can't see it because it's in progress, but it's 4 out of 5. It's hubris on my part there. Also, I think something broke with the quest itself.
So I was going to ask chat if anyone here is a game day veteran. Have they been to
anybody ever played
any of
game
these?
Day?
Are they sitting there laughing at the screen because they're like, I already did this. What are you dummies doing?
I hope they're laughing at us for sure, regardless if you've ever played or not.
Yeah.
You should be laughing at us.
Yeah, and if you were there for some reason at reInvent, you could have met me possibly. I was there at all the reInvent game days, all the sessions.
Okay.
It was pretty fun. Pretty fun.
What's funny is I played Rucinon Space Taste live at reInvent.
That's right. Yeah.
I played it live on one of the episodes of AWS, or at the live streaming event for reInvent we did with AWS on air, and it worked fine then. So I don't know what happened. Like I said, my fault. Likely. No. Wishing that you could help. You are helping, son. You've absolutely been a big help.
Ask questions in code interviews.
Neither have I.
All right. Well, I've gotten asked one of those like scenario questions, and that was how I answered it. Like, how would you spin up this? And I said, use EKS and just use the Nginx container as your ingress controller. That was my answer. That was part of it.
Would have been just build everything serverless and use API gateway and Lambda functions, but that's me. Okay, so we've already somehow lost 10 points.
That's okay.
That's cool. So you're gonna have to help me with this name here.
Hornenschmerz.
Oh,
Dr. Hornenschmerz has been investigating customer reports of the sounds unicorns have been making. It's not something we've ever heard before. We've always suspected that unicorns can communicate with each other. And Dr. Hornenschmerz, beloved by unicorns, and one of the only humans to see a Crunion sight.
Crunion. Is that like a cruller and an onion, like a crawler and an onion put together?
Maybe. I actually don't remember that what the Crunion is as far as the lore. Maybe that's like a mining site.
Oh, okay. It sounds like mining site. Yeah, for the Rucinon is mined.
Rucinon.
No, it's a lost cause at this point, James. Don't worry about me. I'm gonna pronounce it 8 different ways. Oh wait, we should have before we jumped in, we should have pretended like this was the beginning of the show. Welcome to AWS On Air presents Step Up Your Game Day. And if you have been watching for the past hour and a half or so, you may not want to turn to us to help.
I was going to say that this is where you, the viewers, help us step up our game day.
That's right. We didn't tell you whose game day we would be stepping up, but
yeah, ours is
ours.
Yeah.
So we are so excited to be here. I'm just committing to this bit of starting the show completely.
Go for it.
We're so excited to be playing Game Day quests here with you live, and we're going to be doing this once a month on the AWS On Air channels. So LinkedIn, AWS On Air's Twitch, and I believe we're live on Twitter as well. So any of those places are great places to follow so that you can catch other episodes of Step Up Your Game Day. But if you're joining us for the first time ever, you should be, because this is our first show ever. Welcome.
It'd be weird.
It would be weird if you somehow watched us before, but time is a flat circle. Anyway, a game day is what you're looking at right now. It's an interactive, fun, almost, I called it an escape room earlier, like experience where you're solving challenging puzzles that are created for you by one of these quest developers at AWS. If you are interested in playing a game day, we put them on typically at either customer events or at meetups or things like that. So if you'd like to play a game day, you can reach out and we can help you get one set up. But you're going to need somebody like a AWS solution architect like James, an AWS developer advocate like me, or a TAM or a CSM to host that game day for you. It's all free. You get a temporary AWS account where all these things are created, so you're not playing within your own AWS environments, and none of the bills come due to you. So that's the best part. But we're going to be playing the Cornhuf Translator. This is a shorter quest and an easier quest than the one we were attempting before. So we should probably be able to wrap this one up faster.
For sure.
All right, James.
So
what do we do?
Well, first of all, Dr. Hornenschmerz, when she translated everything, apparently she did it in code.
Oh.
I don't know. I guess that's how she works. But she did it in code, and she containerized it, and she told us that we should use a fully managed service that makes it easier for developers to quickly deploy containerized web applications and APIs at scale. Inside information, hot tips, pro tips from James. If a game day has something in quotes, you should look it up, because there's probably a reason it was in quotes. Initially, what does it say? A fully managed service makes it easy for that. Without Googling that, just read that sentence. What would your first thought go to, probably?
You're clearly not watching the live.
Oh, I'm watching, but that's why I'm like, that's why I ignore the answer. But what might you have been thinking of before that?
AppRunner.
I mean, if you did, then kudos to you. Me, I thought it was. I remember the first time I was like, "Oh, that's easy. ECS and Fargate, right?"
Yes.
Which is a totally respectable answer with that kind of sentence. But again, if it's in quotes, here's me subtly winking at the screen.
Yeah, just drop that into an old search engine, and you're likely to find out the answer.
Yes.
We got a question from chat. I'm going to pull that up. Some questions. What this material covered? Does it help for certain kinds of AWS certifications?
Depending on the quest or the game day that gets spun up and the level, absolutely it can, because the easier quests, the more difficult quests are designed to be more competitive and kind of test your knowledge and kind of just put into think of it as an open world video game, but there are easier quests that are a lot more prescriptive, a lot more kind of hand holding, and there are those that can help you with kind of the essential, the core services that might be part of more in tune with certification exams. Yes.
Right. Yeah. And I think all these are, oh no, here we go. And so like all the quests that are out there come along with which services are getting used, and usually have some sort of use case. Like for the space taste one we played earlier, it was the DevOps use case. And then, it had code pipeline, code commit, etc. We didn't look at Cornhuf Translator, but that can help you. And also, when you are putting together a game day to play for a group, you need to talk with an AWS employee anyway, like your solution architect, or like I said, a dev advocate like me, and they could recommend for you based off of what your needs are. They can recommend what you are trying to, what you're trying to achieve by playing. So if you're looking to upskill on security, James mentioned earlier, like a Secure Legends game day that exists. So they can help you pick from the catalog of games that exist out there. That is actually not public. Again, this is why you need to talk with an AWS employee at this juncture to put together a game day. I'm loving the cat chat too. I've got a cat too, but I locked him out of my office, which was very rude of me. Very rude of me. All right, so we know we need AppRunner. We've learned that so far, right?
Yeah.
And stored our code in a repo. All right, I'm gonna click.
Familiar with those? We've been messing with that a little bit already.
Well, but this is I'm inspecting the link. It's got /ECR in it, so that's going to be a different type of repo, right?
I think so. Last container registry.
Yeah, that's a container registry repo. Let's do created at. Okay.
There it is. Okay.
We got unicorn glyph. That's right. What are we supposed to do?
We need to go ahead and start that container.
Oh, okay, cool. So I didn't really need to click that link then, did I? Because I just need to go to AppRunner.
Yeah, but it's nice it's there. It gives us a little bit of reference.
Yeah, totally. Okay.
There we go. So it's running. It's already got a public endpoint. We already did this?
No. This might be left over, actually. So here's what I'll do.
Oh. Did you do this earlier?
I've done it at one point in my life.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I was like, did they trim that out? Like,
no, that was me.
Okay.
That was me. Anyway. Okay, so we did need to come here because we need this. We need this URI, right? So coming back here, we got a container registry. Nice thing about AppRunner too is that you can use other container registries too, right? Anyway.
But why would you?
Maybe not. You could do a source code repository. Yeah, I could connect to GitHub then. Okay. Anyway, you could use ECR public if we needed to, but we don't because ours is in our private repo. I could have browsed to it as well. I'm just going to do manual.
There we go. Again, another pro tip when you're doing a game day. Anything that requires a role, 99% of the time, the role will have been created for you. If it's not, it'll probably be explicitly said.
Right. Yeah, you usually are not making IAM roles when you're playing a game day. Oftentimes you can't. They don't allow it. So what's your service name going to be, James?
Rainbow Sparkle Unicorns, I think it's called.
You think it's called? You're not sure?
I think there's an ice cream called that.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty tasty.
Don't need an instance role. I didn't see anything that said that. Yeah, I think we just need to spin it up. Shall we?
You might. Okay. I was going to say, see if one is made.
I clicked. One. There wasn't anything.
Oh, okay. Then yeah.
Create and deploy.
Error occurred. The image provider request is invalid. Why? Why is it invalid? What did you do, AM?
You know, I gotta keep us on our toes. I'm gonna browse now. Image tag, cool.
Oh, okay.
Look, the computer will do it for me.
Yeah, you didn't give it a version. Okay, cool.
The computer will do it. Hey, there we go. That's working.
Sweet. All right, now we get to fill up some more time while this gets spun up, which is cool. Yeah, Rainbow Sparkle ice cream. I think
Okay.
it's like I'm into like the really goofy. Well, I mean, I love ice cream in general, but that's one of my things is I like the really goofy, weird flavors. I think this one is like cotton candy flavored ice cream with cake batter swirls and like chocolate confetti pieces or something in it. Like I don't know. I to most grown-ups it sounds awful, but I'm into that. You know, jokes on you. I'm into that kind of stuff. So
Son of Diclonus talking about how they found AWS on air a few weeks ago with SageMaker notebooks. Some cron services there that caught their attention. They're using Jupyter notebooks, and that's SageMaker is a great way to use like SageMaker or Jupyter notebooks in the cloud. And then I love this about we're talking about IAM policies earlier. You know, people learning about IAM management is a big hurdle.
yes,
And it
can
is
be.
totally for
Yeah.
sure.
And again, going back to the startup going back to the startup culture, I was exactly in that situation where I got hired to be. I was actually just a coder for a game studio, and the guy doing like he kind of did everything. He was the back end, the full stack, the DevOps. He left after about 3 weeks, and they said, James, how do you feel about this? And they said, cool, you're in charge now. So I literally got thrown into it. Like, here's the password for the console, like for our account, and it was literally the root account. I mean, the root user, because no one else knew anything about it. Don't use your root. Don't use your root. Anyway, yeah, just learning the difference between users, roles, groups, policies. That's an entire section on itself. And yes, it's an important, but it can be a little bit complex to get your mind around how stuff like that works. Like I remember when I was trying to assign, like I didn't understand how assigning roles to services worked. In my mind, it's like, well, if it's in my VPC, why can't it talk to stuff? It's mine. It's like I like that meme, like I created you. Like, why aren't you doing what I want you to do? And it's because it doesn't have a role.
I'm not
Yeah,
allowed.
and I'm like, role. I'm like, it's in the same thing. Like, why can't it talk? So that's a whole thing in itself. You have to learn.
James, what about this?
Mhm.
You could go create an IAM user, right? And you can go get long-lived AWS credentials. Should you go use those credentials in an EC2 instance, for example? Or is there a better way? Since we're talking IAM roles and IAM users and IAM policies, what do you think?
No.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Because you can create an IAM role, right? And then the credentials are managed through that IAM role. So instead of having long-lived credentials through creating them in an IAM user,
Yes.
right? You don't have to manage those. And those are an attack vector, right? So if you're in the security, oh yeah, we got chat too. Look, we got chat coming in. There you go. Roles by itself creates temp credentials. Yeah. Always favor IAM roles when you can over long-lived access credentials, because, like I said, when you're in the security realm, you refer to these things as attack vectors, and the least amount of attack vectors that you can have, the better, because these are all areas that you have to pay attention to. You have to monitor those credentials if you go and create them. Now, there's some cases where using AWS credentials are obviously unavoidable or you have to or things like that. But if you can leverage a role instead, it takes one of those attack vectors of having long-lived credentials away. Doesn't mean that you don't have attack vectors still. Obviously, there will always be attack vectors, but knowing what they are and knowing, Son of Diclonus gave us another great tip with roles. Minimal permissions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You want to limit the number of things that a thing can do to only the things that it has to do. AppRunner's taking some time here, isn't it? Oh, there we go. Running.
Oh, there we go.
All right. So let's go check out the. Okay.
Oh,
I don't know what that means, but
it might be cached. Here, let me.
we're just supposed to drop the URL in here anyway.
Yeah, for now. Yeah, that's the first step.
Go ahead and update that.
Running. Yeah. Yes. Says it's running. Hey, Em, drop that.
Yeah, I'll give you the link.
Yeah, drop me that link real quick.
You got it. There you go.
There we go. Let me see if this works. If it works on my machine.
And we can also check our score events, right? HTTP error occurred. Oh, that's from Rucinon.
Yeah, that isn't the Dockler's application.
Oh, interesting. We're not having good luck today, are we?
Not at the moment. Oh, there we go. Okay, give it a try again.
Okay, did it take a minute?
Do a refresh. Yeah. Or you could do. You might have to do it in a try an incognito or private.
Yes, I don't know that. I can clear cache too.
Either that. Yeah, it worked for me, so it should work for you. It works on my machine.
Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I just moved over to Firefox, and I don't know the key binding for hard refresh on Firefox.
Oh, I don't remember off the top of my head.
I know
you could just do it. You could do it in a private.
Do I need to try this again?
You might, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can, but then chat won't be able to see it. It still says it can't be reached, but it worked for you?
Yeah. Give it a second. Yeah, I just copied and pasted it in.
Yeah, I tried it in another window. Oh, okay. It worked.
The site is up and running.
That's good.
Seeing is believing.
Well, my problem is, hold on. I'm going to cache reload Firefox. I forget how to do this on Firefox.
Yeah, I don't remember. I have to Google it every time.
Yeah.
What changed to get it running? I don't think anything changed. It was so the container image was probably running, but it wasn't. It was still like,
Command Shift R. That makes sense, doesn't it?
It was still just setting up, try Microsoft Edge. Chat says.
I don't have Edge. It's not working for me. So you might have to tell us.
You want me to pop it up?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Can you share your screen?
Yeah, I can do that. React app.
Thank you.
Hello.
All right. Okay. Can you yeah, there we go. And we'll just switch back and forth between yours and mine.
Sure.
All right.
Okay, so as we can see, this link did work.
Yes.
For our AppRunner here. So what is the next step in the
it says
Quest UI say?
The doctor copied the unicorn glyphs from various sites and saved them as images. She scanned them and used some sciencey stuff to try and figure out what they meant. What is the translation of the first image?
Okay, let's take a look.
Well, she used sciencey stuff, so you know it's good, right?
Okay, so this is image 1.
Image 1, accuracy 98%.
Nice.
Translation: humans try and understand us. Come find the minds.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to type that in, huh? All right.
Yeah, since you can't copy and paste, so.
Humans.
Or I could drop it to you. Yeah.
Try and understand us. Oh yeah.
Come find the minds.
That sounds a little ominous.
Well, they're doing their best to try to speak to humans in.
Maybe the translation is making it sound scarier than it really is. Oh, we got image 1. What's image 2? I'll switch back to you now.
Image 2, okay.
Image 2.
Image 2. Translation: find the Montecero stars. There is more Rucinon there.
Okay.
I've heard through the grapevine that Monteceros is actually the name of the unicorn constellation. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I've heard.
Will you drop that one into our chat, because
yes.
No way I'm going to spell that correctly. There's too many letters there, and they're all arranged in ways that I'm unfamiliar with.
Let me.
Okay. Oh, we got image 2. Oh, that's it.
Oh,
it's just been completed.
Nice.
There was a third image though, wasn't there?
There was.
Let's just see what image 3 said. Food tastes horrible.
No Rucinon.
Rucinon. Unicorn sad.
People sad.
I don't like that one. That one makes me feel bad.
Yeah, too much people sad.
Well, okay. So we completed it. We got almost 50,000 points for doing that.
Nice.
Look at that.
So yeah, so this is like the super introductory, like icebreakery kind of quest. As you just saw, we solved it relatively easy. But this is how they should go.
You didn't have to go debug Nginx running on a server somewhere. Yeah, that's usually not how things go. Like I said, I think that was a bug with the quest itself, or me just pulling down the wrong version of the quest. Something happened, unfortunately, but we will have a redemption story for us. I'm not going to say for Space Taste, because Space Taste is a wonderful quest.
It is, yes. It'll
be a redemption for us operating Space Taste in the wrong way. So, okay, we're being asked to recap here. You want to take that recap, James?
Yeah, sure. So this quest we just did, the Cornhuf, I know you just went through it. Yeah, that's fine. So this is called the Cornhuf Translator quest. The background idea, like I just said, is our scientist found a bunch of unicorn language and put it into code in a container. So the idea behind the quest was get the container up and find the container in the registry, get it up and running using an AWS service.
So we found it here.
Yeah.
In ECR. Yep. So they had already deployed an image for us. And we were able to pull the URI.
Yep. And then using AppRunner, we got a hint to use AppRunner.
Yeah, this fully managed service that makes it easy for developers. Right.
And and then that spun up our container. If the container was built correctly, then that's, as an AWS managed service, it's really nice because it takes a lot of that, unless you're AM and you still can't get it to work. It takes all that kind of behind the scenes stuff, and you just get to focus on coding and building your app. And from there, we were just able to take our web app and take the translations and provide them with the translations.
Yeah, the translations were already. I mean, I'm talking literally every browser I've gotten. I've tried Safari, I've tried Chrome, I've tried Firefox. None of them will load it for me. It's like caching at the network layer or something. Kind of weird. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh yeah, Try with curl. Yeah, I could try with curl. You won't be able to see it, but let's see. Nope.
Take the URI and then have AppRunner start that up. Yeah, you basically just tell AppRunner your registry location of your built image.
Yeah, let's talk about AppRunner real quick. Because again, James hinted at this earlier. The unicorn stuff isn't my favorite part of game day. It's okay if it's your favorite part. I'm not judging at all. I promise. Not my favorite part. My favorite part is getting hands-on with this stuff. And oftentimes I'll play quests at game day events, or part of my job too is to help with testing out stuff. We got a whole lot of people inside the company that will test new quests before a big event like reInvent. Sometimes we release those opportunities to people outside the company as well. So be sure to follow. I had it up earlier. Let me put the banner up. Follow Unicorn Rentals, just to get any opportunities to test quests before they are released. Sometimes that happens, and you can follow to find out when the next game day events are happening that you can go participate in. But my favorite part, I'll go play quests for services I never have touched. Like I played a quest a few months ago for EMR, and I have done next to nothing with EMR. I don't know about you, James, but I am more on the DevOpsy side. So, big data, machine learning, that type of thing. I don't get exposed to very often. And when I do, it's usually higher level stuff, just learning about it, like we do on AWS On Air on Fridays. And I don't get hands-on with it. But with game day quests, I get hands-on. So if you've never heard of AppRunner, let's talk about AppRunner for a minute, James. You and I, you were already starting to say this lets you really focus on just getting your application out there. But it's got a focus on container images, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So a big push. Well, not this. I mean, push maybe not the right word, but a big feature of a lot of AWS services are the serverless or AWS managed services, where you just kind of remove all the, having to set up your networking, having to set up your instance size, having, all that. We call it the undifferentiated heavy lifting.
We didn't create a VPC to run this in.
No, nothing.
Right. It used our, well, actually, I don't know what it used. It may have used our default VPC or not. I'm not sure, actually.
Yeah. That would be a good thing to look at. But yeah, just like Lambda, just like DynamoDB serverless, AppRunner, we say, AppRunner, we have a container image of an app we want to run. And then AppRunner says, cool, let me see what it needs, and then I'll fire it up for you. And then once it does, you're good to go. Like you can focus on your app rather than having to focus on, do I need a T4 large? Do I need to add extra, vCPUs? Do I need to set up more networking? AppRunner handles it.
Yeah, it's not even running. It's not even running it in like an EC2. Like I don't know if you've ever used Beanstalk before, James. I'm kind of in real time learning a little bit about AppRunner too, which is why I love Game Day Quest, because it gives me the time to come in and learn more about these things. But Beanstalk, another service that is kind of interesting and a little bit like AppRunner, I'd say, in some regards, in the sense that it goes and sets up things for you. It will actually go and create EC2 instances. It creates a load balancer, it creates a bunch of stuff. But AppRunner, I'm not even seeing an EC2 instance, right? It's just running the image.
Yeah.
It's interesting. And I found this blog post about, you can add, if you need to connect into another VPC, you can connect VPCs to the AppRunner VPC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and that sounds similar to a lot of other AWS managed stuff. Like,
right.
You could quote me if I'm wrong, but like if I was to deploy something in ECS with Fargate, I don't think you would see the underlying EC2 spun up in your account. You would just know that it's running somewhere on something. So
we've got a question about processing power, and in the actual, we set this up ourselves. In the actual configuration for AppRunner, you can pick.
Yeah, you can set it up higher.
Yeah, but I mean there are seemingly limits here. So anyway, yeah, it's a neat service. Very easy to get started with if you've got Docker or other container images stored in ECR. You can just deploy them and have them run. That's super cool. And this Quest got us working with it hands on.
And I think we ended up positive after everything, so I guess we achieved that goal in a way.
Let me remind you of this failure, though.
It's not a failure; it's a learning opportunity.
I love it, James. I love it. I need this positivity in my life that you're giving me. I am just the consummate pessimist. So, James, thank you. Thank you for
You're
that
welcome.
optimism.
That's what I'm here for.
I'll go back to this. This makes us look much better. Even though we are negative here, we're still first in Rucinon space.
Yeah, I don't know how. Oh, yeah.
There we go. We're still first because we're the only team playing. But, you know, we didn't need to mention that part. Okay. So I am going to go ahead and take my screen off, and we're going to wrap things up here for our first ever Step Up Your Game Day. That was a longer episode than we had planned, but it's because we had to sidestep a little bit and change quests midstream. So thank you all for hanging out with us and playing right along with us. Like I said, we will be doing this at least once a month. So we'll have another episode in February. Do you have the calendar pulled up, James?
I could look it up.
Yeah, let's get the calendar. I'm pulling it up too. So we've got an episode in February. We want to know from you all what you would like to see. So for now, we've got a game planned for, how could I forget the date for this, James? You and I, we're going to be spending Valentine's Day together. February 14th. That's Valentine's Day, right?
It is. It is.
Okay, cool. So February 14th at 11 a.m. Pacific, we're going to be playing something called Unicorn Farm.
Ooh, I know that one.
So that is an IoT one, right?
Yes.
So we're going to be looking at some of the IoT services next time. I hope you all will come join us on Valentine's. We'll be spreading the love around on this episode. But we'll be back with more game day coverage. Is there anything that you wanted to add, James? Anything that I'm missing? I don't think there are any upcoming events that we need to plug.
Off the top of my head, I mean, other than after the game day, I'm going to be and my buddies are going to go to dress up in tuxedos and go to the movies together. So.
Oh wow! Okay.
And see something, but no, next week or next month, yes. Me and Am, we will do a test run, maybe a day before or the evening before, to make sure that this goes a lot better. And please tell your friends. And like I said, we do want, our goal is to have you have chat driving this.
Yes.
We totally want, and we do appreciate the troubleshooting with us. That's exactly what we're going for.
Yes, absolutely.
So please, and if there's anything you like different, you can hit me up, hit Am up.
Yes.
Or if there's a specific type of quest you'd like to see, something geared towards, like I said, something geared towards sustainability, something geared towards. We have one we actually have one that's geared like towards migration. So that's actually kind of interesting, because that's usually the kind of thing that someone does. You know, you don't do very frequently, but when you do it, it's a big thing. You know, it's a whole huge process. So having a game day to actually kind of, you know, review those kind of things, something like that, is really nice, because you don't want to be reviewing how to do your migration in the middle of a migration.
Right. That's
so
true. All right. So yeah, definitely join us next time, because I don't know about you, James. I am not an IoT person whatsoever. Like I think I've spent less time in IoT than I have with EMR, and so I'm going to be pretty lost. We're going to need some help from chat. So please. Oh, and look, we're getting from chat. Love to see the migration game day. So
Okay.
we'll have to look into doing that one. But tune in Valentine's Day at 11 a.m. Pacific. Also, if you're interested in learning how to code, we are doing another show. I am with a colleague of mine named Steve Roberts called Code Corner that premieres on Thursday of this week at 11 a.m. Pacific. So come join us, learn about coding. We're going to do beginner segments. We're going to do advanced segments. We're going to do different languages. So this week, I believe we're going to cover some basics in C# from Steve, and I'm going to cover some basics in Python. So you can come learn 2 languages for the price of one,
Nice.
which the price of one is $0. It's free to come watch. So be sure to tune in. Son of Diclonus, I hope to do some Python. That I'm not a Python dev by trade. I know a little bit, but hopefully I don't embarrass you live. But you can come and tell me why my Python looks like it's written by somebody who is like a JavaScript or a C# developer. Anyway, it'll be fun. So come watch us on Code Corner on Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific. And James does a show every 2 weeks, every week, James?
We're trying to get to every week.
Okay.
We do a show called Howdy Partner. It's on Wednesdays at 2:00 Pacific time. We bring partners, AWS partners, on the show. They give us an actual live demonstration of one of their products. So instead of just hearing advertising or hearing about a product, you actually get to see the power of it. I personally love it because a lot of times you don't get hands-on with these kind of things. You see the architecture, you see their practices, you see their accounts. You don't get to actually use the program. And if you're an AWS partner and would want to be on the show itself, just you can send me a link, send me a DM me right now. I can drop my email address is jrspence@amazon.com. AM actually started that show back in the day, I believe. It's still going. And yeah, we just had a show with Stistic, and my plug is getting too long, so I'm going to cut it off here. Please tune in when we have them, Wednesdays at 2. And if you'd like to be on the show, we would love to have you.
Yes.
Free.
Sure.
It's free. It's free. If it's free, it's for me.
I love Howdy Partner. And I love it even though I created it. I love it because it's very high quality, and James keeps it very high quality. But yeah, if you're interested in learning about some of the technology that sits adjacent to AWS, or if you're using some of the technology from our partner network and you want to get more in depth with some of those partners, request a partner too. I'm sure James would be happy to hear, what partners you'd like to hear from. In the past, James just mentioned Sysdig. We've had companies like Rancher come on, Gremlin for a little chaos engineering. We've had all kinds of, application monitoring folks like Datadog, for example, in the past. Lots and lots of really cool tech to learn about on Howdy Partner beyond even just the AWS tech side. So I think that brings us to the end, James.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for putting up with this. But next, hope it was still fun. Next month, even better. Check us out. IoT Quest and
Unicorn Farm.
Yes, we will be rotating our certificates on our devices.
Oh, you're giving spoilers already, man.
Well, that's part of it. That's called in the trade. That's called a teaser.
Oh, a teaser. Okay.
Or a cliffhanger, whatever you want to. That's
Come learn some IoT next time, and we'll see you right here again for Step Up Your Game Day. Thank you for joining us.